are, the day before the world is supposed to end. Let's assume it doesn't, and have a look at 2013. Yeah, there's life after 2012, and it could be pretty darn good, too. We have some amazing astrology coming up in 2013, with real hope for creating positive change. Not a moment too soon, either. I suspect more than a few of you are thinking the world is so messed up that starting over again might not be such a bad idea. Am I right? Okay, we got that out of our system. I got it out of my system. Well, let's talk about 2013. 2013, it's not going to be all fairies and rainbows. We have a pretty heavy planetary configuration that's continuing, will last actually for another couple of years. However, there's a big shift in 2013 that's real cause for optimism. The best news comes this summer when Jupiter enters Cancer. June and July could be really fabulous months. Let's look at some charts. There are 3 major trends in the coming year that I want to tell you about. In late June, Jupiter enters Cancer. Jupiter is associated with luck and abundance, but he hasn't been that helpful in Gemini. He's much more effective in Cancer, the sign of his exaltation. On July 17th, Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune are all aligned to the exact degree in the 3 water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You don't need to be an astrologer to see that something quite unusual is happening here. This is called a grand trine. I researched charts all the way back to the year 500, and I couldn't find another instance of an alignment this close between these 3 planets. So it's pretty rare. Now, a trine is a flowing aspect that allows positive changes to take place more easily. Really good news, because we've had more than our share of jarring aspects lately, namely the Uranus-Pluto square. A square is a 90-degree angle between planets that typically indicates conflict and obstacles. Now, it also can show us where our biggest growth opportunities lie and where there are opportunities for really big breakthroughs. The problem with these kinds of changes is they tend to be very difficult, and you have to work really hard to get results. Uranus and Pluto are revolutionary and evolutionary. The last time these 2 were in a major aspect was in the mid-1960s. Even if you weren't born yet, you've probably heard about it. Civil unrest, rebellion, revolution, riots. We can expect more of this in 2013 and for the next 3 years. But we're also seeing some important breakthroughs, much of which had its roots in the 1960s counterculture of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It took nearly 50 years, but pot is now legal in Washington and Colorado, and gay marriage is legal in 9 states. That's huge. That's what a quarter of a Uranus-Pluto cycle can do. There are 2 exact squares of Uranus and Pluto in 2013, May 20th and November 1st. Both of these dates are intense, but the second one really stands out because there's a tremendous outflow from Pluto to the Sun and Mars. This is all about action. We'll have a window of opportunity to change at a very deep level, and that will completely alter how we see the world. It's also 2 days before a solar eclipse. Eclipses are gateways to change, and this total eclipse of the Sun in Scorpio is heavily charged with evolutionary, revolutionary energy. Speaking of eclipses, there are 5 of them in 2013, which is pretty rare, and they're in 3 different sign pairs, which also is unusual. Now, there's one more chart I'd like to show you. In August, Jupiter moves into opposition with Pluto, and we'll have what's called a cardinal T-square. A super challenging time, but a period in which we'll have a fire lit under our behinds to make the changes necessary to live to our highest potential. Throughout this period, for the entire year actually, Saturn and Pluto are in a special relationship called mutual reception. The last time this happened was during the Revolutionary War. Under this influence, old systems can break down even faster to make way for the new. But no revolution can happen without sacrifice. Here are some key dates to watch in 2013. Overall, the biggest news in 2013, and the most positive, is Jupiter's entry into Cancer. Now, you're going to hear about how wonderful this is going to be for Cancers. This is a gross oversimplification of astrology. Sorry, Cancer honey, but your advantage is only going to last a day or two. If you're a rising Cancer, a whole different kettle of fish. 2013 going into 2014 should be really amazing for you. And here's a surprise. Rising Capricorn, you'll get some extra help in the relationship department. About time, right? The fact of the matter is, no matter what sign you are, you may benefit from Jupiter in Cancer. Exactly how depends on where he falls in your natal chart. If you're not familiar with your natal chart, please take a minute to look it up. If you're only reading your sun sign horoscopes, even those long ones with all the details, you're only getting incomplete information. Astrology has so much more to offer. For a complete list of important dates in 2013, plus information about how you can order your yearly forecast, check out my website. Real Astrologers is also on Facebook now. I'm Pat Paquette, wishing you an amazing 2013.